Here's what I know for sure. You will not find love and light while you traffic in hate and darkness. One cannot see clearly while one is wallowing in darkness. Vision and clarity, love and life require light. Deception and lies, trickery and treachery require darkness. Then a liar is given unfettered power and is allowed to thrive in darkness and is not corralled, constrained, controlled, or even canceled, then bigotry, fear, hatred, violence, and negligence become his or her fruits. And those that blissfully feast upon the tainted fruits become the liar's tools, or worse yet, fools, used to disrupt harmony, peace, and goodwill, first from within and with others. And if all of this is to be true, and I believe it to be true, then the world should not be surprised that January 6, 2021 happened, not when blind allegiance was willingly and foolishly given to the commander-in-chief. Or should I say, the deceiver-in-chief, Donald J. Trump. January 6, 2021 is a dark and shameful day. But I must take a moment here to remind us of many dark and shameful moments in history. Why? Because there are always vile elements at the basis of each shameful event, and yesterday's insurrection against democracy is no exception to this rule. So, shameful. The Jewish Holocaust, the Native American Holocaust, the African Holocaust, at their roots, prejudice, discrimination, and intolerance. Shameful, the kidnapping, incarceration, murder, family fragmentation, and slavery of African people for profit, industry, and political expediency. Shameful, lynching trees that borne the weight of forbidden fruit that drenched America's soil with crimson waters and at the same time quenched the thirst of racism, hate, and bigotry. Shameful, untimely, and unfair deaths caused by the hands, bullets, and knees of rogue police officers that pledged to protect and serve a community's people, but rather they served for the sake of power, authority, and supremacy. Shameful gang violence, young lives that have fallen in death for turf and drugs, for credence and power, for fame and money. Shameful, young boys and girls snatched and held hostage in sex trafficking rings for the privileged and predators. Shameful, power-mongering celebrities that grab women by the pussies, then brag about it to media magnates that should be appalled and spill the beans to protect the vulnerable, but rather laugh at the shaming of women that fall prey to power. Shameful today to see loyalty to a despot and oppressor rather than to every American's constitutional and human rights. Democracy should be the cornerstone of today's America. Freedom and equity should be the flagstone of today's America. Tolerance of personhood and access to wealth and medicine should be gateways in today's America. So let's prove it with what we say, how we act, and what we fight for. But with all of this, let me be clear. I don't expect bigots to see me, hear me, give me an equal chance to just live, or to allow me to value their respect because they can't give it because they don't have it. Because they are blind with hate, fear, and prejudice. You see, those blind with fanatical fear won't see you or me. whether they be a bishop, a family member, the president, a colleague, or an adversary. Well, they are all adversaries, enemies to the sacred gift called life. When we as a collective allow our leaders, whether president, teacher, preacher, politician, celebrity, or business tycoon, to traffic in hate, that hate will take root. It will grow, it will blossom, and its vile fruit will make its claim and decimate lives. Rather, we who allow human dignity to occupy our hearts must rightfully and legally express our rage, and by doing so, we must manage our own economies. We must boycott institutions and challenge systems that imprison, oppress, and kill people unfairly. The unfolding of yesterday's events saddens me. And I remained troubled, not just from that event, from many events, and by people that validate and perpetuate shame, segregation, marginalization, decimation, humiliation, and murder. So I appeal to the best of us to lift all of us, no matter race, color, sexuality, gender, social status, nationality, or religious belief. And I challenge every child of light not only to see adversaries for who they are, but to call them out by name.